Love you, Miss Butterfly. Yeah, Cody is a brat. Okay, we're gonna start in 2 minutes just because I want to make sure everybody is here. Thank you, Sin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sin. Beanie Baby, hey. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love you too, Biggin. Country cutie. I know, Deanie Baby. It's going to be awesome. Thank you for being here, everyone. There goes your night. I can send it to you, Lexi, if you want, or Biggin can send it. Either way. Um, okay. Got 1 more minute. Thank you, Sin. I'm going to wait 1 more minute and we're going to begin. Just wanted to let another couple, make sure all of my guests are here. Okay. Welcome, everyone, to Connect with Steph. Excuse me. Tonight's topic is the connection between social media and mental well-being. We have some special guests tonight. We have Sin and Lions, who is Paw Patrol right now, and Deanie Baby. So tonight's show is not, well, actually, every Sunday this show happens with different topics, and you can feel free to favorite me, and you can see my show every Sunday night. I also stream throughout the week. So about tonight's show, it's all of how the social media affects us in different ways and affects everyone in different ways. And I'm not going to be able to reply to the comments or the gifts, guys. I apologize, but this is going to be a featured show and I have to focus on my guests. But I thank you all for being here and we're going to start. Okay, I need Paw Patrol. Can you request the box, please? Hi, Lions.
How are ya?
Oh, I'm good, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm all right. Could be better, but I'm all right.
So, Lions, why don't you tell everyone a little about yourself and, anything you got going on, your streams or whatever you'd like to share?
I'm a daily streamer, and the only thing I think I have coming up yet is next Saturday. I'm on Lex's TikTok, her TikTok trivia game at 10
Okay.
o'clock, and that I think
And
that's
that's what day?
next Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Yep,
And when do you stream every day?
I'm a daily streamer. Yep,
Okay.
or I
Okay,
try to be.
awesome.
I try to be.
Do you stream at different times or same time?
Just whenever.
Okay.
I've been home the last a week and a half, so like everything's boring to me right at the moment. But I think
Oh,
I
I
just
understand.
because I've looked at it all so long. And you can
Yeah,
only put the pettiness on here up here on so long.
I understand completely. All right, darling. Tonight's topic is the connection and between social media influence and mental well-being. So we're gonna go ahead and start the questions. What role does social media play in feelings of anxiety and stress?
Um, well, it helps if you've got like somebody to talk to. So on that note, I do like the social media for that part.
Mhm.
But for me, a lot of the stress is the negativity on the apps.
Mhm.
Just way too much. And that is something that I have a hard time trying to struggle with.
Mhm.
So
So when it causes stress, how do you handle that?
usually I just get my other device and I see who's all online.
Mhm.
And you know, if there's something, I'm one that I like to watch the shows that are on that night. Um, I'm one that I love to watch the auctions.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
I was just watching Chris Chronics auctions before I can't came in here. So,
Okay. That's
you know,
awesome.
I get around and I met some really good people on this app and, they help me through things day by day. So,
Um, that's awesome. That is amazing, though. You can find really good friends on social media. You really can. Um, what are some positive and negative effects of social media on mental well-being?
well, like the negatives would be like, for a quick scenario, some guy comes into your stream and starts calling you all sorts of names, you know,
Mhm.
or, well, look at that fat cow, or look at that old person. She don't need to be on here. I get that kind of crap all the time, you know,
Mhm. How do you
but
handle
then
that?
I just, sometimes I don't even respond to those people. Um, and eventually they'll leave. But I'm to the point, if you guys don't have anything nice to say, then just don't say a word at all. Keep your mouth shut.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So,
What are some positive effects?
like a positive effect would be like, I don't know, me going into somebody's stream, I don't know, and seeing they were down, asking if you can help cheer them up, give them a
Hmm.
couple gifts, and make them
Yeah.
feel like make her feel like she's wanted or they're wanted. I guess I shouldn't say she because it might be he, but to make sure they're wanted.
Right. That's really awesome, and you're right. You can make other people feel really good about themselves, even just by coming in and talking to them, which is a big deal on this app, especially.
Right.
People meet friends and talk to each other and help each other, and that is a good positive side of it. You're right. You're very right. Okay. In what ways can social media affect sleep quality and overall well-being?
Um, I'm not really sure how to answer this because, there are some nights where I do a sleep stream,
Hmm.
but I mute myself.
Okay.
I mean, I mean, people do sleep streams on here all the time.
Hmm.
You see it more and more happening, and that's one of the rules that they say you're not supposed to do a sleep stream.
Hmm.
We even see top badges doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, does it affect your sleep? Like, do you go to bed really late? I know I do.
No, because when I feel tired, I just mute and I just go to sleep.
Okay. Well, in general, uh, what is the kind of, I want to say the word relationship that you have with social media?
That would be just friends.
Hmm.
I'm not. I am kind of sort of talking to somebody who I'd met off here, well, off this app a long time ago. Um, so I'm just basically on here for friends and nothing more.
That's good. That's good. Um, how can we differentiate between healthy and unhealthy social media use?
What I'm gonna say unhealthy is when all your bullying's coming through.
Hmm.
When you're being a bully, that's not a healthy thing to do.
Hmm.
A healthy thing would be, you know, go into a stream and be nice. That would be the healthier thing to do in a live stream. And
Hmm.
not go in and say, hey, she's 80 years old. Why is she on this app? You
Right.
know?
So, what strategies do you think can help combat those negative effects of social media?
I don't know. I really don't have a strategy for that because I know that those people come and go all the time. So I'm pretty used to it.
Hmm.
Um, but you know, if you people can't take um the negativiness, then this app isn't for you.
Hmm.
Because any stream you go into, I mean, it could be a top badger stream. There's always going to be negativity and rude people in every stream.
Hmm.
So if you don't like being people being rude, then maybe this app isn't for you.
Right. You
You know,
definitely need to forget about what people say and not let it get to you on any social media app.
yeah,
And if you get a thick skin, then, you'll be able to do a lot better because people do like to come in and troll and be rude and obnoxious and just
exactly.
offensive. Um, what I always tell people is there's a block button for a reason.
Yep.
So, how does the comparison culture, like when you start comparing yourself to people on social media, contribute to mental well-being issues?
I don't know. I just kind of go with the flow. You know, you
Hmm.
never know what each day is going to bring.
Hmm.
Tomorrow, somebody could come in my stream and make my day. You know what I'm saying? The next
Mm-hmm.
day, somebody could come in and just make my life go to complete hell, you know?
Right.
So I guess it's just gonna say, you never know. And I've got some crazy friends. I really do. And who knows of what crazy friends are gonna come in and do some crazy things that day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
that's why I consider them all friends because they all do make me laugh,
Right.
you
And that's a
know.
very positive thing. That really is. That comes out of social media.
When when I'm down, they know how to cheer me up, you know. And you know, I'm never left alone, and that's what I like.
Yeah, that is very true. So, welcome all the new people coming in. Welcome to Connect with Steph, where we are discussing the connection between social media and mental well-being. And this is our first guest, Lions. So, if you're here, guys, can't reply to comments right now, but we are talking to Lions and Lions. Do you want to reiterate, or is there anything else you would like to tell us about you before you get out the box?
I don't think so.
So when is the show you're on again? Let everybody know for the new people.
Tic Tic Tac Trivia, I think it is, with
Tic Tac
Lux
Trivia.
every Saturday night at 10 p.m.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Well,
And
Lions,
I
thank
think
you.
that's the last show I'm on for a while.
Oh, it is.
Unless Jay just puts me on a random show,
That's awesome.
which that's been
All right.
happening here. Wait. No, I'm not. I'm on another show.
Oh, okay.
I'm
What
on
show?
Yeah Boys movie. What is his show? DJ Yeah Boy.
Okay.
Tomorrow
What
night
day?
at 10 p.m.
Tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Okay.
I think it's
Awesome.
tomorrow night at 10 p.m.
Okay, everybody, we got to, you'll have to go and check out that show tomorrow night.
I think,
Hmm?
but
All right,
I
darling.
kind
Thank
of forgot
you.
about that show. But all right,
All right.
everybody, have a great day. I just had knee surgery, so I'm gonna go take some
Mm.
painkillers.
Oh my goodness. Go lay down, young lady.
That's why I wanted to go first.
No problem, darling. Thank you so much for being here.
Have a
I
good day.
appreciate you. You too. Okay. If Sin could please request a box. And for everyone coming in, new people, this is Connect with Steph. Do this show every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And today's topic is the connection between social media and mental well-being. Our guests today are Sin, Lions, and Danny Baby. We just talked to Lions, and our next guest will be Sin.
Hi.
Hey, Sin.
Hey, how's it going, Steph? Hello,
Doing
everybody.
good, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Great. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on. I really appreciate you. I really do. Thank you.
Oh, yeah,
So
of
why
course, no
don't you
problem.
tell us a little about yourself and your, streaming life?
Yeah, I'm Sin. Um, I've been on here on the app since about the pandemic time. I've been streaming for about 2.5 years now. And you can pretty much catch me on here streaming every night or every other night around this
Hmm.
time. So you can catch me on, and yeah, just come on by. If you want to have a good talk, a good laugh, we just sometimes we have some trivia here and there, music, and yeah, we just have a good time in the stream. So anybody's welcome to come in. Um, yeah, that's
Awesome. Do you have any shows you're going to be on coming up?
as far as anything upcoming. Not really. I do have. There is a show that I come out every week. Or we come out. We have every Monday with DJ Norcal. It's called Play It Against Sports. You can catch
Hmm.
that every Monday at uh, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, and it's if you're a sports fanatic or you like talking about sports or hearing about sports, I would recommend you come on by. It's a good time. We there's the host and there's three of us in the guest box as well. We're just giving the people the latest stories, rumors, all the news, behind the scenes kind of stuff on the sports world, and yeah, it's also a good time. And yeah, like I said, every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in DJ
Okay.
NorCal Top Badge, DJ NorCal's stream. So
Okay, that sounds
look
really
for that.
cool.
Mhm.
Sounds like a cool show. All
It's a
right.
lot of fun. Mhm.
In what, I'm sorry, wrong question. What are some positive and negative effects of social media on mental well-being?
Positive. I'm sorry. Can you
Positive effects and negative effects.
negative of social media? Well, I guess the positive effects can be, it can be a very uplifting a tool. If you go to the right places, if you use it the right way, I think it can be a very uplifting, very positive, motivational um, tool to have when you get on social media, and that's following people or following pages. I know for me personally, when I get on Instagram, one of the social media uh, um, places apps that I go to, I try to follow, like a lot of these pages that they always post up, a lot of, uplifting quotes or, images or what have you on a daily basis, just to, that's one of
Hmm.
the things that if sometimes I know it's kind of a bad habit as well, but if it's the first thing you grab in the morning is your phone and you look at social media, if that's what I'm going to do, if that's the first thing that pops into my screen, at least it's something that I'm reading and it's like, oh, okay, this is something that can really jumpstart my day or my mood or that kind of stuff, and at least it's not something negative or
Right.
something that's going to drag me down. So I think that's one way that it could be, in a positive way, um, for people. Now, as far
Hmm.
as a negative way, I think kind of, yeah, you look at the other side of the spectrum is, yeah, if you go to the web, you go to pages or you go to these apps or social media sites that just it's just spewing like hatred or negativity posts, that kind of stuff. Um, for me personally, as well, I try to also keep away from. Um, I don't mind talking about it, but I kind of keep away from like the political stuff too, or political posts, just because I know going into that stuff, I know it's gonna be, it's just usually a bloodbath in there, especially in the comments. It's just people going back and forth, just spewing hate
Hmm.
on each other and that kind of stuff. So I tend to stay away from that. Stay away from that. But also in a negative way, there's many ways, but another way is also, like imaging your body image, body shaming, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of pages or apps that also, where you
Hmm.
go there and you see you run into a lot of posts that you're looking at it, it can cause kind of a negative, I don't want to say complex, but kind of, maybe have a negative effect on you, as far as like
Right.
comparing yourself, right, to these images or these people or these models or what have you, these figures. Um,
Hmm.
so I think that's that's another way where it can have a negative effect on your daily
As a
life.
matter of fact, that leads into our next question. That was perfect. Um, How does the comparison culture on social media contribute to mental health issues?
Um, I think it can it contributes in a big way. And unfortunately, sometimes it's more negative, in a negative aspect. So yeah, comparison, like you said, it's you go on there, you go on there and you see these photos or posts or images of these sometimes what I see as just these unrealistic expectations, right? Or these unrealistic when you look at these people. I mean, yeah, granted, there's people out there. You have your models, or these people that that's what they do for a living. But
Hmm.
comparing yourself to those people, I feel like it's not you're not gonna come out on the positive on the other side. Constantly comparing yourself to these figures or things that society deems as a norm, or what they deem as the perfect body
Right,
or the perfect image, that kind of stuff. I think that's a big way to really impact you
right,
negatively uh, in that aspect. So yeah, I think yeah, that definitely that comparison culture is not it's not the way to go. I try my best to not go down that path whenever I log into social media. Um,
hmm,
you know, Sometimes we can't always escape it, but for the most part, I do try my best to not
right.
go down that path.
And
And because yeah, mhm,
today with all the filters and the Photoshop, a lot of times you're comparing yourself to someone that doesn't even really look like they do on the picture. And
yeah,
people
true.
don't realize that. You can fix a lot of things in a picture to make it look, beautiful, but
Hmm.
it doesn't really catch reality. It doesn't capture that reality of what that person really looks like or who they are. So that's what the comparison there is what people don't realize.
Exactly. Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah,
when I stream, I usually stream. I don't. I hardly ever turn on the filters, or I used to have them on, but then after a while, just like I'm just take them off. What you see. This is who I am. You
right,
know. Yeah. That's
right. Okay, what role does validation and feedback on social media play in shaping your mental well-being?
oof. Okay. Yeah. I remember I saw this question when we were in the in the group chat, and I remember this one kind of stood out for me because for me, I know me personally, validation is kind of something that's been instilled in me, or kind of as growing up in a household where kind of the whole validation. For me it was always like trying to live up to my dad's standards. To live up to trying to get that validation from him all the time. It's just something that I've been trying, something I've constantly worked on as an adult, to kind of uh, get that equaled out or counter that. But I think yeah, the validation and the uh, that culture, it can it can really put a hamper, or put a dampening also on your life. Just like the comparison thing, yeah, getting the trying to get validation on social media. That's a big slippery slope, I think,
Hmm.
because that's for the most part. I mean, it is it's great. Sometimes yeah, you get that validation from people. Sometimes it's people that you don't even know, from complete strangers, or you get it from people, your friends, your loved ones, your family. Sometimes it just, but I feel like using social media for that, as for that, trying to get that validation, I think can also lead you down a pretty negative, or a pretty dark kind of path, if you're not careful with it. If you're not
Right,
putting some kind of guidelines, or putting in boundaries or stuff around around that that kind of interaction. you're doing on
Right.
social media apps.
You always say the perfect thing before the next question. It was about boundaries.
Oh,
How can we establish healthy boundaries with social media for better mental well-being?
better boundaries. Um,
Hmm.
no, that's another thing. I think just to set better, I mean, better boundaries would be, yeah, set your what your, kind of like your non-negotiables and stuff. Like if you're on your social media, if you're if you're going down different sites or pages, if there's something there, you're like, I'm not gonna there's something I'm not gonna deal with that. If there's something that you come across either or through a DM or a message or people commenting on your stuff. I mean, you have the control when you're in social media to, you can choose what to allow to have on your page or on your posts, on your stories, and that. You have that control if it's something that you feel like you're gonna have there. If somebody's going on there coming after you, or coming after whatever your image, your what you are, or your identity. You have that control to, what, I don't have that, I don't want that on there. You can remove it, you can block it, hide it, whatever, report
Hmm.
comment, what have you. But I think those boundaries are important to set as well. Also, not just that aspect, but also, I know I mentioned like the DMs and messages and stuff. It's also important to
Hmm.
set boundaries as far as how much you let people have that access to you, how much you let people into your life, into your personal space, your personal life, that kind of stuff, because that can be also be very uh a very dangerous game as well. If you give people too much access to you, or you give people too much,
Hmm.
and that can also backfire. Um,
Right.
backfire in a very toxic and very negative way. If you don't set the boundaries and you don't make those boundaries clear to people, that
Hmm.
very um, yeah, a very
It can
negative,
backfire.
very negative, uh, uh, yeah, thing.
Well, before we go to the next question, I want to welcome everybody to Connect with Steph. We're speaking with Sin right now, and tonight's topic is the comparison between social media and mental well-being. We have Connect with Steph every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern on different topics that affect us all emotionally, physically, mentally, just everyday things that we all go through. And our guests share their stories and their opinions about the topic and what's going on in their own lives. So, Sin, how can
Mhm.
we differentiate between healthy and unhealthy social media use?
Um, Healthy and unhealthy. I mean, healthy, to differentiate for that, I think it would be to a healthy usage would be, use it a certain amount of time. Maybe have like a time limit or a certain, and those controls are now available in most of these applications now.
Hmm.
You can set a time for yourself. Like you don't want that much screen time or a certain amount of screen time. Um, Using it, as far as in a healthy way as well. Use it to promote. You can promote yourself if you have a business, or you're trying to launch your whatever it is you got going on. Use it for that purpose, and not you use it to go out and attack people, or lions and tigers were saying earlier. Use it to bully people, that kind of stuff. um, I think that's a good way to use it in that healthy way. Unhealthy, or not, using having it in an unhealthy way, I would think is, again, I'm not perfect. I know I sometimes use it in an unhealthy way as well, especially when it comes to time. Um,
Hmm.
I know, because you were talking about that
Me too.
earlier, about not affecting maybe how sleep. I
Hmm.
have had those struggles, as well with with the social media and as far as the time that I log off it or disconnect, go to bed.
Hmm.
That I feel like that's a very for me at least, for the unhealthy ways. Sometimes I've used social media is that way of not disconnecting, not scrolling away, at the late hours of the day. That's
Hmm.
very I know that's been very unhealthy at times for me as well, to where previous,
Right.
I know there's been
Me
some
too.
times where I just had to say, you know what, I got to get off here, I got to get off this app, taking breaks from certain apps, because it's it gets to the point where you're like, you know what, this is affecting my everyday being, my well-being, to affecting my health. So
Right. I admit I'm pretty bad about it. I'm on social media a lot, and the screen time is outrageous. So I need to cut that out a little bit because I'm always on it. And I'm just, I need to like you said, set a timer and be like, all right, it's time to get off because I won't do it myself. But
yeah.
like you said, with a timer, it's like, oh, all right, and that brings you back to reality. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, our last question,
Mhm.
what are some strategies for setting boundaries to maintain a positive mental state while engaging on social media platforms?
Some strategies.
To maintain a healthy mental state.
Mhm. So I guess, I mean, the strategy is kind of like touching back again with what we talked about earlier. Just staying away from stay away from the negative, from the hate, from the negative posts, from the comments, the negative comment sections, all the hate spewing and that. Like I said, me personally before, staying away from staying away from the political stuff, all that political posts
Hmm.
and everything, because for the most part, it's gonna most of the time it's gonna be negative uh, things on there. um, Also, I guess other strategies would be, again, like I was saying before, with the setting time limits, setting certain times of the day, maybe that to log on, that you use the apps or social media. Um, Also, the amount, again, this other strategy, the amount of yourself that you're allowed to be out there, that the access to people to have to
Right.
you. It's another, I think, a strategy to use. And um and just, yeah, ultimately, just be yourself out there. um you know um be cautious of who you choose to, not just, again, let them into your life or your information, but also, like, who you choose to follow or allow to follow you. Pages, that you, like I said in the beginning, I try to follow or like a lot of the posts of these pages that post a lot of positivity, uplifting quotes, messages, images, stuff
Me
like
too.
that.
Yeah.
I try to share that with with people that I follow as well, with my following. I try to share it with them as well, because, I mean, you never know. It could
Right.
put a smile or brighten up somebody else's day, as it did yourself for that day or in the morning,
Right.
what have you, to just start
I
the
do
day.
that too. I share a lot of positive quotes with my friends, and there are times they tell me, "Yeah, I was feeling kind of crappy today. Your posts kind of cheered me up," and I was like, "Well, that's what they're supposed to do, you know."
E-
Well,
Exactly.
thank you, Sin.
Oh,
Is there anything
thank
else
you.
you'd like to reiterate or remind people of?
I just, like I said, you can catch me pretty much every night, every other night, on here on the app, streaming. Um, we try to I try to have as much a fun time as we can, every stream. So everybody's welcome to come in, you know, to have a good time. And yeah, every like I said, every Mondays right now, currently every Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do come out and played against sports show with a top badge DJ NorCal. Yeah, you can come on by and shoot the breeze with us, talk sports, and have a good time. But I appreciate you, Steph.
Okay.
Thank you for having me
Awesome.
on here again. It's always a great
Thank you,
time in
Sin.
here. And thank you everybody for who's in here as well. I appreciate y'all. And
Thank you, Sin.
y'all have a
Okay. Um, Once again, everyone who's just coming in, this is Connect with Steph. We have this show every Sunday night at 9 p.m. And today's topic is the connection between social media and the mental well-being. We are speaking with our special guests today, who were Lions and Sin, and our final, last but not least, by any means, Deanie Baby.
Hey, lady, how are you?
Hey, sweetheart, how you doing?
I am good. I just finished my final assignment for this class that I have, so it's cool because I just have to record the video presentation. I'm 5 classes away from having my license in therapy, so
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah,
Congratulations. You look
thank
beautiful
you.
today, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I'm
Um,
like, I'm just gonna put my glasses on and just do it from the kitchen today.
so, you want to tell us a little about yourself or your streams or, things you got going on?
Well, my name is Jeannie Baby, and I stream randomly. I work 2 jobs, and I'm going to school to get my license in therapy. So, um, well, my master's in social work, and so there's not a lot of time for a lot of extra stuff. So I have to be really mindful about how often I stream. I do have a standing show that I'm on that actually is going to start up again tomorrow with Top Badge Mej, the mic drop, where I'm a judge on the show. I won the show twice, and now I came back as a judge the last several seasons. So we're starting back up
Hmm.
again tomorrow.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Um, what role does social media play in feelings of anxiety and stress?
I think it just kind of depends on the person. I know for myself, I tend to be everybody's go to person. Not so much on the app, but a little bit more on like Facebook and Instagram. So I have family and friends that, you know, I see all their posts, and even coworkers and former clients that I see on their posts where their emotions are all over the place and they're angry today and they're so that stuff gives me a little bit of anxiety. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
lie, when I start reading through it and I'm like, oh gosh, you know. Um, because one of the things as a social worker is I've learned to what you feel in your gut is usually what's going on with people. So I tend to pick up sometimes on other people's anxiety and not so much my own. That right now I really had to take a break off of Facebook and Instagram and just say I'm taking time off right now, um, because I have to fill my cup back up before I can give again. So.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay, what are some positive and negative effects of social media on mental well-being?
You know, um, I think it just depends on the person. I know a lot of times, like we talked about some of the bullying and things that go on social media, but also I think sometimes people use social media as their place to vent, their place to pour out their whole
Hmm.
life story. And so some of that is unhealthy because there's things that you should find people to share with and not just share everything with everybody. And so I think,
Absolutely.
some people use it to vent and they think it's healthy, but it's really not healthy, because you start
Hmm.
getting judged. You start getting, people start developing a perspective on you. And then I think sometimes they start to mistreat people based on all their emotional ups and downs instead of finding empathy for it.
That is true. That is very true. How does the comparison culture on social media contribute to mental well-being issues?
Well, I think like the previous guest talked about how um, you see someone, I'm chunky. So sometimes when you see someone, that is maybe a gym bunny and they're, got this perfect body, you start to look at yourself and feel like, "Oh, I need to go to the gym, but I'd rather eat tacos." And so then I start to feel bad because I don't look as good as that other person, or just even being a single person when you're trying to connect with some, you're one, some people on social media to find a partner. And so, um, when you start comparing yourself to other people, you might not feel like you measure up.
Right.
So I think that can help and cause depression. Um, there's just a lot, I think, that we don't see ourselves the way other people see us.
Hmm.
Even as a Christian person, I don't see myself all the time the way God sees me because I'm comparing myself to this other person whose life seems so perfect, or their body's perfect,
Hmm.
or they're beautiful and I don't feel beautiful. That kind of stuff
Hmm.
can really affect your mental health.
Definitely. And now these days, it's even worse because of all the things that can be done to a picture. And
Mhm.
when you see that person in real life, you're like, that you
What do
don't
they look
look the
like?
same.
Right?
Okay, can what's
Crafty.
what strategies can help combat the negative effects of social media?
Know who you are. Don't compare yourself to other people. That's one of the first strategies, is don't look at who you see on social media and compare yourself to them. And just know who you are. Know the amazing person that you are and what you bring to the table of life. And so that way, if you know who you are, who the way other people present themselves isn't going to affect you one way or the other. I think to be choosy, I think like Sin said, you got to choose who you're choosing to connect with on the app. Um,
Hmm.
Even on Facebook, there's been people I've had to block or shut off on my Facebook. There's been people that I've had to just mute so that I don't see their posts because
Hmm.
I can't do it because it's toxic. So I have to cut out the
Hmm.
toxicity, but I have a choice to do that.
That's true. And
Hmm.
that's, actually leads into our next question. Um, what are some healthy ways that we can establish healthy boundaries with social media?
Just be choosy. If something's toxic, shut it down. I know on my Instagram every so often, some of these TMZ things come up, and it's all the arguing and all the who's not getting along with who. I can't watch all of that because it makes me crazy. It makes me almost angry sometimes. It's like, why are we putting people's shortcomings on blast and people's arguments with each other? It makes for good TV. I don't
Yeah,
think that should be the intention of what happens in the app or what happens on social media. Let's just get along and let's not fight with each other.
you would you would think.
Mhm.
It seems very difficult for people to do.
Mhm.
Very
It's like
difficult.
a train wreck. You go, don't want to watch it, but you got to see what's happening.
You gotta, yep, because your mind's going, well, I'm not gonna be able to sleep unless I know what happened.
Mhm.
And speaking of sleep, in what ways can social media affect sleep quality and overall well-being?
I think if you're letting things get to you, I have a
Mm,
friend who I notice she constantly posts all these tragic things that she finds on the news and posts them to her Facebook page. Kids getting abducted and accidents and things. And I'm like, why do you keep posting all of that? Like it affects her sleep because of the fact that she's thinking about all the negativity constantly. So
mhm.
there's a scripture in the Bible says, what, to set your mind on things above, what things are true and honest and just and good. Focus on those things. What you set your mind on and the things that you allow to take over your mind, you're going to sleep about, you're going to dream about, you're going to feel, if you're feeling anxiety during the day, you're going to feel that when you go to sleep or when you try to sleep, because sometimes you don't sleep
Mm,
because of it. So learning
mm,
to find how to ground yourself and that sense of calm that you give yourself depends on what you put in your mind and what you allow yourself to see and be around.
right. And it's really difficult because there's so many things nowadays on social media that just draw you in, but
Mhm.
they end up being really, have a negative effect on you.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
unfortunately, it's hard to differentiate between, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Do I like this? Why
Mhm.
do I like this? So,
Mhm.
yeah. And what role does validation and feedback on social media play in shaping our mental well-being?
It depends on, I think, where you're at. There's some people who they don't have a good sense of self, and so they are looking to fill themselves with the feedback that they're getting from people. And so they get
Mm-hmm.
on here sometimes fishing for compliments and hoping that they're going to be told, oh, you're beautiful. Because I don't care who you are as a streamer. There's been times I've had a ponytail and I look like a crackhead that's been hanging out down the street, but I choose to stream that moment. And, you'll get to, oh, you're so beautiful. you know, those things don't matter to me, but there's people
Mm-hmm.
that validation is really important and it's what makes a difference for them. And I think that's why they get on
Mm-hmm.
here because there's always going to be someone tell you you're beautiful, but in the same regard, there's always going to be a troll that gets in your box and calls you fat and stupid and ugly. I have that happen all the time too. So,
Right.
um, I don't, it doesn't get to me. It almost makes me laugh when they come in talking stupid. It's like, oh, okay, who wants to send them to the moon? My bouncers know that's my code word. Because I'll ask them in the box, have you been to the moon? And they're like, no. And then my bouncers know that's when you kick them. I'm like, see ya.
Yeah.
But,
Mine is the color purple. Like, do
yeah.
they like the color purple? And they're like, click.
Mhm. And so the thing is that if you don't have a strong sense of self, what people say in your stream is going to affect you, bottom line.
Right. Absolutely. And the last question, are there specific social media platforms that have a more significant impact on mental well-being than others?
Um, I think there can be. I think shows like this where you're trying to help people find some stability with their mental health or have a place to talk about it. There's another streamer, Bruce Wayne, who Monday nights does a mental health Monday. It's 30 minutes, and
Hmm.
he brings up topics, and I help him with his show sometimes, and we talk about some different things. So I think those things can be helpful. I think there's some streams you just know there's going to be toxicity in there, and so if that's what you're looking
Hmm.
for, you'll find it. You'll find it.
That's true.
Um,
That is very true.
right. Do we have time to do something? I know anxiety and stress from wherever it comes from, be it social media or wherever. There's an exercise I want to see if we could do in here.
Okay,
Um,
that'd be awesome.
regarding. So, okay, this is going to be a 5-minute one. I don't know if anybody's heard about um, guided meditation. It all has to do with your breathing. It has to do with calming yourself when you're stressed. So whoever's in here, if you give me 5 minutes, I just want you right now to find a quiet, comfortable spot and just close your eyes. I want you to just close your eyes. You can keep them open if you want to, but if you can, close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath in and focus on the breath and filling up your lungs with air and slowly, so like breathe in and then slowly breathe out. Just focus on the breathing and just embrace the moment as you start to feel the peace from the air coming out of your lungs. And then turn your attention to your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, noticing the coolness of air, and exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling a warm release. With each breath, imagine a wave of calm just washing over you, soothing your mind, your body. If you have thoughts or worries or anxiety, just acknowledge them. Yep, anxiety, you're there, worry, you're there. And then bring them back to focus to your breathing. Shift your awareness to your body. Notice anywhere that you feel anxiety. Sometimes when we feel anxiety, we feel it in our stomach, in our sometimes in our limbs, sometimes in our chest. You feel the tightness or a flutter in your stomach, tension in your shoulders. Without trying to change the sensations, just observe them and just think about them with kindness and curiosity. Taking a deep breath and breathe into those areas where you're feeling your stress. Imagine your breath as a healing energy that's just softening and easing your tension. In this final minute, practice accepting your experience just as it is. Whatever you're going through right now, just recognize that anxiety without a clear cause is just part of being a human being. It's normal because we live life and anxiety is normal. Breathe in, and with each breath, cultivate a sense of compassion towards yourself. Think about yourself with kindness, that it's okay that I feel this way because sometimes I'm just stressed out, but it's okay. It's normal. Begin to normalize it and remind yourself it's okay to feel this way, that you're not alone, that other people feel this way as well. Take in one more breath and just begin to release. Let it go. So I don't know if anybody got anything out of that,
That
but
was amazing. I was like doing it not as obvious. I was like, all right, I'm not going to do it very obvious, but that was really
you
good.
could
Thank you
feel it.
so
You know
much.
what I mean? So come to my stream, guys. Sometimes
Definitely.
if I stream randomly, if you're feeling stressed, we can do another guided meditation. We can do a longer one.
That's amazing.
MJG, what did you feel? I'm just curious. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Oh, good. So
Awesome.
come visit
Thank you,
me.
Jeannie
We'll do more
baby.
things like that. We'll see you. Love you, girl.
Love you. All right, everybody. That concludes Connect with Steph. I appreciate all of my guests, Sin, Lions, and Deanie Baby. And today's topic was the connection between social media and mental well-being. And once again, I do connect with Steph every Sunday at 9 p.m., different topics about what affects us all in this world today. So I love y'all, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see y'all next Sunday in love and light. Thank you, guys. Okay, that shall conclude Connect with Steph. All right. I am going to do a little box party. If anybody would like to get in the box, just go ahead and request it. Hello. Hello, girly. Hey, Tori.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Y'all were all like on it.
Big, he's getting a little bit too much head action, man. Are you sure you want me to?
A lot of head. Okay.
Big Hand's a little tore up right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Little toe up. Little toe up.
I had a little bit of watermelon drops tonight and a little bit of peach drops. So yeah, country cutie out drinking sauce. She had 10 and I had 7.
Wow.
Y'all are
Yeah,
foobarred.
yeah.
Yeah.
CC's kind of football right now.
And
Yeah,
where are you guys?
definitely.
And don't you guys fly out tomorrow?
Yeah, and like 12 hours.
You
And
got time
y'all
to
are
sleep.
that messed up? Yeah, really.
And then you can sleep on the plane.
And we got an hour drive. And we're not sitting together. I'm sitting at the front of the plane. She's sitting at the back